Mysterious threats. Hello and good evening for this Thursday, September 7th, 2023. We have finished watching episode 1 and episode 2 of Star Trek Lower Decks season 4 titled Twovix. And I have no bones yet, but I must flee. But we're just getting started here on Live Long and Podcast, breaking down both of these episodes tonight. I'm Dave Mader, streaming here live on Facebook, YouTube, and on Twitch, or you might be listening to us on the audio version. Of course, I'm joined with Davan Skelhorn tonight. How are you tonight, Davan?
Tonight, I'm the mysterious threat.
No mysterious threats. No mysterious threats.
Well, one. We can have one.
We can have one. Okay.
Yeah.
And joining us, a very special guest, we have Derek Tyler Attico, the author of the Benjamin Sisko autobiography coming out later this year.
And also the human in the menagerie.
The human in the... Oh, you were there? Oh, so you let
the moopsie out?
You let them move out. I see what's up. Yes, so we will be talking about both of these episodes tonight. One in order that they came out, but they both released today. So here we are. Very excited to talk about that. Of course, these will be spoilers ahoy. So if you don't want to know what happened in these episodes, get the heck out of here.
And come back later.
Yes, absolutely. So everyone's doing well tonight. Excited to be back here for another Lower Deck season.
Absolutely.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
Fun stuff.
Yeah, very fun.
Murphy's joining us?
Looks like Murphy's popping in.
Hey, Murphy. What's up?
Hey, fellas.
What's up, Murphy?
I just finished
Did you watch these episodes, Murphy?
I did watch these episodes.
Very good, very good.
I got a good chuckle. I loved the fact that in the first episode they took all the weird shit from Voyager. Not only
everything from Voyager.
Not only did they canonize it, they just threw it about 30 yards that way and told you to follow where it's going. And I loved it.
Yes.
What a love letter to Voyager that episode was.
Absolutely. I just like
the ship looked beautiful. I might shed a tear if you have images of it.
I sure do. Okay, well, guys, I'm excited. So we're gonna be, going through the episodes. We typically do that by kind of looking back at the screenshots, kind of talking about what happened in the episode, and then we'll sort of give a rating. And feel free to interject with your thoughts on how this went. But it sounds like we're all pretty positive on these episodes. So let's get into it. Starting with the first episode, Twovix, spelled Towvix, a reference to the original episode Twovix from Voyager. As he's right, this was a love letter. Of course, if you don't know that episode, it's quite controversial. Here, I got the clip.
Doesn't anyone see that this is wrong?
We've talked about it in many capacities on Locutors of Trek, in Deep 8-9, Class L Pro. We've delved into the Twovix, but funny thing is, on the first episode of season 2 on Locutors of Trek that hasn't come out yet, and we haven't recorded yet, we're having Richard Hanley on, who wrote The Metaphysics of Star Trek, and he tells me he has he appreciated our thoughts on Twovix, he said, but he has a way that everybody could have had their cake and eat it too. He says he knows a way he could have saved everybody. And I can't wait to hear that.
It's simple. You create a Thomas Riker transporter duplicate, and then you split the duplicate.
That was my first initial thought.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But
Makes
then
sense.
you
Probably
get it-
coming at it from a metaphysical sense, but we'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see.
But that's my theory. Okay,
Then
no,
you get
wait.
the sticky thing is which one's the original?
Yeah. Well,
Does it matter? Is Tom Riker less Riker than William Riker? I
not
mean-
technically, but in the eyes of many,
Me included.
more like the Harry Kim, who was like killed, and Naomi Wildman for that matter, who was
Right.
Yes, Harry Kim is not Harry Kim. We've
But he is.
covered that as well.
Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah. Actually, in
He's
Star
not the
Trek
original.
Online,
He's like
they had
Harry
a whole
Beta.
story. They had a whole story in Star Trek Online where the Kobali actually resurrect the dead body of the original Harry Kim and make him into a Kobali.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Nice.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I thought that was a good twist to bring it back. Jody Simpson coming here on the live chat. Looking forward to your book, Derek. Glad to see you back on the channel. Glad to have you.
Thank you. Me
When's
too.
that-
I'm looking forward to it too.
When's it?
All right.
When's the book coming out, Derek?
Well, it's been rescheduled. There's been a delay. It's been rescheduled because of shipping issues. So it's December 5th. If you have a pre-order, don't worry. It'll still be pre-ordered. December 5th is the new date, right in time for the holidays. So everybody's looking forward to that.
Good
Yes,
And-
absolutely.
That makes more time for more pre-orders.
For more pre-orders, exactly. More pre-orders, more Christmas lists,
It's a blessing,
more, right? More
Exactly.
Moopsie, more everything. There we go. Right.
really. Is Moopsy in your book?
No Moopsie.
No.
That's a spoiler. No Moopsie, guys.
No,
No
Moopsy.
No Moopsie.
That's a spoiler you got here on Live Long and Podcast. No Moopsy.
Do you want to? We'll jump in, guys. Twovix,
Yeah.
the first episode. We start here on
Not
the
what I was
Swede-
expecting. I was expecting them to bring Twovix back or something, and it's just, or like something
Right.
like that. I wasn't expecting the way they went with this. It was, but
Right.
Right.
Turned into-
Well, yeah, the Cerritos is sent on a mission. That's the premise of the episode. A secret mission that nobody knows about. Meanwhile, like the lower deckers are down here in their bunks, looking to get going. Oh yeah, Talin's here, guys. Now best friends.
love
with,
Tulane.
Love it. Love her.
Yeah,
She's
me too.
So good.
She's really good. I like the dynamic with her and Tendi. Although some of these jokes between Talin and Boimler smelling were not. They didn't hit hard for me, but right.
What does he say? Or, like later on, is like she's like, "You'll love it." She's like, "Is it austere?"
That was a great choice. Boimler doing the holodeck waste extraction. Always
What could go
fun.
wrong?
What could go wrong?
This is a hilarious
smells
scene.
like
I
a
love how
lot.
Lower Decks like mocks the things that regularly happen on Star Trek. He's just like all you have to do, Boimler, is have nothing go wrong. He's just like, but everything always goes sideways. He's like
Yeah, well,
Big
but Ransom shows up while Boimler's cleaning up the holodeck to tell him he might be in line for a promotion, the promotion he's always wanted, which excites him at first. And then the Cerritos back on the bridge, we kind of see that they're meeting up with this Rigelian character, a museum curator, and the Cerritos is on this classified mission. And then we got to get the reveal. There you go, Davan, Voyager.
oh, look at her! Isn't she beautiful?
Mm-hmm.
Are you talking about the cat or the?
No, Miles is all right.
Yeah.
He's an all right boy, but I don't know if I'd say beautiful. Are you beautiful? No,
I don't
I'm just
remember
done with this
Voyager
shit.
having this red outline around the numbers, the registry numbers.
No, it's pretty.
No,
thick. It's pretty
that's
thick
new.
outline.
Yeah, that's yeah.
I don't know how I feel about it, to be honest. But other than that, she looks beautiful.
Other than that, yeah, no, the animation when the ship was moving, it looked amazing. So this is
Voyager
around-
didn't need the lipstick.
No, it didn't. Got some lipsticks. But we know that Voyager will end up in Geordie LaForge's Fleet Museum by
That's right.
2402 or so.
Bet
So
you Geordie scraped that red paint right off.
maybe did, yeah. But this is 20 years earlier from those events. So Voyager was back. I guess it's been back for about 2 years from the Delta Quadrant or
Right.
so, maybe 3. And so now but it's been decommissioned. It's not in active service anymore. So they're going to be, and that's what the Cerritos got put in charge of, is getting it to Earth, I guess, to go on display. And just want to mention that in the opening credits, which were pretty much the same as we always had, but every year every season they've added something new, because it was originally, I think it was just Borg cubes fighting Romulan warbirds, and then they added
warbirds.
Klingon birds of prey, and then they added the Packlet ships, and now they're adding the whale probes and I think the
Crystalline Entity.
Crystalline Entity, right.
Yeah, that wasn't there
Crystalline
before,
Entity
right?
looks great. The animation is great in this show.
Oh, it's really good. It's really good. Yeah.
Yeah, really, really strong. Yeah, but
Look at her. Oh, look at her. She's just gorgeous.
Yeah, Twovix for the title card of this episode. We get to see a lot of the interiors in animated form as they're getting ready to turn this into a museum. I love like the mannequins. With
The mannequins are hilarious.
Mannequins are great, aren't they? Right?
I love how like the one they almost smash is Harry Kim, of course. Like they like poor Harry.
I love how there's a Neelix mannequin with the hat too. You know?
Yeah. Like this stuff. Everyone thinks this stuff smells bad.
Oh, yeah, there's that one guy, that one engineer. He's like drops the pot, he takes a big whiff, and then he's like, you know.
Neelix
Must
is
be that
cooking.
Leola root stew.
Yeah, or that hair pasta. Yeah, but we see here that like Boimler's a little off. You know, he's messing things up. His things are the bioneural gel packs.
I love it.
Messing
I love
us
that
up.
they're on Voyager. Oh my god, it made me so happy.
Oh yeah, and animated form looks fantastic. I agree.
does.
Do you want to go see
Tuvok,
Tuvok's quarters later? Maybe if they're austere. You
If
know,
they're
Are they a
Yeah.
steer?
they're austere.
Lynn. Like, and to pair her with Tendi, like they couldn't be more opposite personalities. It's just
Right.
hilarious.
They're science besties.
Mike
Science
McMahon
besties, yeah.
wrote this episode, as he's written many of the first and last episodes of the previous seasons. And this episode has two directors, Barry J. Kelly and Jason Zurich, both previous episode directors. A bit odd to have two directors, but there might have been a reason for that.
That is interesting.
But we see that they're Talin and Tendi are transporting those orchids that originally had turned Tuvok and Neelix into Twovix way back in Voyager. In the 70s, I think they say. You know,
Right,
way back
in the 70s.
Way back
I love
in
that
the
reference.
Right.
You know, that's one thing I think that Lower Decks does better than the other Star Trek shows is to make it feel more real in that way, where they'll use more colloquialisms like the 70s and things like that. Like they take that extra step to try to still make them feel it like in a grounded world.
Feel
Right.
lived in, right? Makes everything feel lived in. Yeah, for sure.
Despite all the wackiness, like they
Right.
still managed to do that.
Right.
Absolutely, I agree with that. And the orchid petal comes off of Tendi and Davana's like pack, and then it ends up over here with Billups and Dr. Tiana, who are on Voyager as well.
Perfect pairing to
Yeah.
do this to.
Yeah.
Go for a ride.
We didn't see that coming at all, right?
Oh, we all do. It's coming a mile away, but yeah. So and then the orchid, of course, on his boot, and then they.
Why does everyone talk to me about their pets? That was a great line.
What was the name of the combined version of them?
Phil
to Illips.
To Ellipse, right.
Yeah. Who's calling himself Illips? Because okay, the other thing too was in the original episode, like Tuvok and Neelix are both men, but now it looked like you were either going to be one or the other. So,
Oh yeah, Shax. Do you remember anything physical?
Dude, right.
yeah, we see here that they combine.
Yeah.
And
Shax is such gold. Literally every line he's ever had has been pure gold.
I was we cried when they killed him in season one. I remember like Jaemeel and Jeff and I were watching that right before we went on to do the review, and we're like we couldn't believe it. And then they brought him back in season 2 right away. Anyway, so Voyager ends up staying behind, or no, Voyager goes to warp.
Voyager goes to warp, yeah.
Yeah, they go to warp, but the people that are over here don't transport back to the Cerritos. They're going to go deal with that issue. Right. So, we got the Way Party, we got Ransom, and what's the Kayshawn.
I love how they kept Kayshawn around and they actually give him lines. He's a great character.
Right.
Yeah. Even though he was supposed to be Shax's replacement, but he's still here. And we hear on the
macro.
The macrovirus, right?
The macrovirus gets out. I think I was just hiding in a bulkhead for all these years.
like what, for almost 5-6 years, I guess, right?
Probably 5 or 6 years. And it can't hurt them. It can't infect them because they've all been inoculated, but it's still trying to get them.
That was funny.
They
Like,
said
don't
they
worry,
could try
everyone's
to-
been inoculated for the Delta Quadrant macrovirus. It's like they really go to the next step with the Starfleet inoculations. Like they must get inoculations like every week.
Oh my gosh,
The
right?
new things you'd come up with in space and
Oh,
stuff.
can you imagine?
Yeah.
But they keep trying to get Boimler to do something. But Boimler is lost his newfound confidence here because he's, as we'll find out, he's a little worried about this promotion and what it could mean because it didn't work out so well for him on the Titan before his transporter duplicate.
Yeah,
Well, it didn't work out for William Boimler on the
Speaking of duplicates, right? Which
Right.
ties into right.
Yeah. Back on the Cerritos.
I love it. I love William.
Yeah.
It's a great name.
Back on the Cerritos, they're trying to figure out Tebillips or Teillips or whatever. They're kind of explaining this whole Twovix situation.
I love that that's now the scientific name for it. It's called being Twovixed.
Twovix, right?
But yeah, Captain. This is where he's like, what do you remember about our
His eyes. It's like, oh, I remember everything.
That was awesome. Back on Voyager. Yeah. So
What do you think about this though? Let's ask this question right now, because it was generally thought on Voyager by the crew and whatnot that Twovix was actually a better version of both Tuvok and Neelix. Would we say that about Teillips here?
Oh,
definitely
I
not.
wasn't hating.
no, I don't think so. I like the Doctor a lot better. Yeah. Much more
And I
personality.
like Phillips better too. I don't need so and Arithio.
Sorry, Teillips. You're not a
sorry,
winner.
Taylor.
All right.
Better than that
You
whale
gotta go.
combination from later.
There you go. Back on Voyager. Yeah, the macrovices. We also see they have I love how they have the space salamander display. So
Right.
Janeway and Tom Paris
And,
got
and
turned,
yeah.
got turned into it. And then I guess the holodeck gets activated here, but there's now holo emitters in the hallways, which is permissible for even though it's not historically accurate. It adds to the experience.
But that would be historically accurate from the from when the Hirogen were on board,
They did expand the holo emitters. You're right.
right? So yeah, so that
True.
I was like, wait a minute, did not? Come on, guys, that's historically accurate. So
Yeah,
Also,
that
what
is.
what better way, or what cooler way, really, to experience a museum of a starship than to have like holograms just like play out scenarios that happen,
Right.
and you're just standing there watching it, like.
That'd be a great museum.
right, that'd be great.
Yeah.
They had a holographic crew, even a holographic recreation of Janeway and the rest of them.
Right,
These
Better
are
learn,
three hilarious
right.
choices. Like the
That'd be
clown.
great.
But of course, it's only the
S-tier
villains.
villain, the clown.
Yeah, we got the clown
Great
who
name,
was not a
S-tier.
holodeck program. He was part of a separate thing. We have Dr. Chaotica, who's one of my all-time favorites, and the guy from Fairhaven.
We left him off the villains list. Chaotica.
We did leave him off. Chaotica.
Sounds
Is
like a
this
burrito
guy
stuff,
the
isn't
father
it?
of the children in Janeway's like relaxation program?
No, this is
No, Fairview,
Fairhaven.
Oh,
Fairhaven, right?
Fairhaven.
Oh.
Remember, like when Jane was like, "Delete the wife."
Right, right.
Right.
Right. I would. Who did the original voice of the Fear Clown? Was that Michael?
Mike McKean.
Mike McKean. But
Yeah,
he's not
yeah.
back for this. But the guy who did Chaotica, I did think come back for this.
Sounded like him, yeah.
Yeah.
Raise the lightning shield. There's no escape from Chaotica.
And then there's the Fairhaven guy who gives like a big smooch on to Mariner at one point.
She likes it. She
She's
likes
like,
it.
oh, I like
this
this
guy.
this guy. Yeah. Yeah.
Come with me back to Fairhaven.
So everything on Voyager is going awry as it normally does. And then back here, it's
He finds out that
Yeah,
He finds
Cap-
out Twovix just gets killed.
Captain Freeman's like, I'm just gonna read Janeway's logs, and that will tell
I
me
just do what she did, right?
Yeah, and then
And they're
she's
all
like,
so stunned by Janeway's actions. They're all just like, "Wow, I guess that's what she did."
yeah, because Cass cried.
Who is it that says Janeway didn't mess around?
Like when you watch that episode back, it's basically because Cass misses Neelix, and that's why Janeway does it. But
Yeah.
Right.
But it's still pretty. Doesn't anyone see that this is wrong? I like how Shax is like, what? Like, you just killed him, you know?
I've always been on the side of Freeman here, who was just like, I can fix a transporter accident. That's what I argued in Debate 9, that is in fact just a transporter accident, and weird things like that happen all the time in Star Trek. And it was Janeway's duty to fix the transporter accident and
to undo the whatever
and do the mistake. Yeah.
Well, I think that there's a lot of ethical questions around the whole thing. That's why it's kind of
It's
a famous episode.
amazing.
But we see here that Te'Illups, finds out about this as well. Also looks this up and goes, "They killed him." And then, understandably, Te'Illups starts taking measures to preserve their life.
I love that his
why they didn't
immediate
draw his
plan
face
is
with
to take Miglamoo as a hostage. He's like, Miglamoo, come to my
Right.
quarters. He's like the biggest like sucker he could find.
and with the captain, right? Of all the combinations, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, what? What's happening?
Yeah, I would not want to be combined with Miglamoo.
No,
given the choice.
no.
He was
Don't want to
acting
make
captain
food
one time,
references
so it makes
constantly.
sense.
Back on Voyager, things are they're trying to get this going. There's I like how one of the nanoviruses got or macroviruses got assimilated by
nanite.
a nanite.
And then it became a macro nanite. That's the most crazy Voyager thing that never happened on Voyager. Like the nanites go macro. Like that, if Voyager went 8 seasons, that would have happened.
That would have happened, right? That's a great one, though.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, they're like,
this is a great episode.
We got to this is so Voyager too. Like his Voyager, I guess, was a bit more absurd in terms of some of the scenarios they would end up in, right?
Oh yeah, like even like creating the clown, like that was a crazy concept, but it worked really well.
Yeah. Like the holograms, like all the holodeck stuff that happened. Not unlike TNG. Yeah, but back on the Cerritos, we see here he's taking hostage, and then it's all a trap because Captain Freeman and Miglamoo get combined into this new incarnation.
Oh jeez. No, I like the look.
Miglamoo, I think.
The glasses sell it, right? The glasses sell it, right?
Yeah, definitely.
I
like
can't remember what the
Frigglamoo
line
or
was, but it was so
Frigglamoo.
funny. Yeah. And then back in the bar, you got Tiana and sorry, not Tiana, Tendi.
Tendi
and Talin.
And Talin.
I'm trying to get all my apostrophes in.
You're doing fine.
So, but we see here that while they're drinking some water at the bar, in comes the newest Shax, and I guess Barn, the Trill. The Trill.
Yeah, the Trill ensign that we see on the bridge all the time.
Yeah.
That's who it was. Okay, I was trying to post that together. I couldn't figure it out. I'm like, I don't know who the second one was.
Right.
So I love how they do that with the names on this show too. It's just the Trill name Barnes, and like they always do that with the show. Like they have the Andorian name Jennifer, and they're just like everyone just has like random human names regardless.
Pretty much, yeah. Well, it could be the same thing, but yeah. So, but Tiana and Tendi and Talin. Tendi and Talin managed to hide here from this, and they don't get captured right away. We see her back on Voyager, where Ransom and Kayshawn and Rutherford, they all get kind of and Mariner, they get plastered with this book against the wall, respectively. But
Mariner by herself because she's trouble. It's just like go over here.
Yeah, Boimler comes and rescues her. She and gets it off her mouth, and she's like, "Oh, some of that went in my mouth." Swallowed some of that stuff. Yeah, and then she's like, "What's wrong with you? Why aren't you embracing all this? It's boy, come on."
Yes.
It's like I didn't want the promotion. And she's like, I
there's
told them to give you a promotion.
Stale, is that what they call this whale guy? Stale, because he's Steve Stevens.
It's a whale. That's what it is. It's a whale.
It's Steve Stevens and one of the belugas.
One of the belugas, yeah.
That's hilarious.
That's
hilarious.
an unholy incarnation right there.
Oh my gosh.
That's not meant to be.
Yeah, that's just wrong.
It's defying nature right there.
Yeah, that's just wrong.
So Tubbs is like, he's not my best work.
He's not my best work. We see Jennifer and
Jennifer
and Nurse Westlake get combined. The bartender, a bunch of different people.
The one combination I wanted to see was those two.
Oh,
and we never
Tendi
get them.
Talin. Oh, wow.
Right?
That was
And that's
almost
the
like
one combination. I'm like, why can't we get those two together? And we never get.
Now I feel like that was an
untangle the
intentional
lights, you know?
tease.
Yeah.
The
Same
entire
here. Yeah,
episode.
yeah, of course, right.
They have to save the day, of course. But
Genius,
some,
though.
so they beam all the hybrids.
Oh my god, it's horrible.
And then
Right.
they all get combined.
It's like
Face
something
it
out of like
immediately.
Akira, or something.
Yes.
God.
Yeah.
Leave me alone.
What are we gonna do about this? So back to Voyager and the salamander.
The nanites are riding the salamanders and controlling them. God, this is amazing.
They're planning to go to the Borg cube. Like these holograms have hijacked the ship and are taking it towards the Borg.
Yeah.
So
The nearest
Isn't that always the
transwarp
case?
conduit.
Like, in all else, let's just go towards the Borg. It's like, it's just like,
They're the final boss of Star Trek.
I did wonder if
Certainly
this
is in the Delta Quadrant.
is this the cube we see in Star Trek Picard? Is this the one that the artifact?
Where did they say they were going? Did they?
They didn't. It doesn't really say on the screen. It just says. I like how it says "Voy is here, Borg is here." That's all that it says.
This is my favorite scene, maybe in the episode, with the next picture you had there. Where Boimler runs in and only saves Rutherford, not the command officers.
He's like, I need an engineer.
Yeah.
Like, no time, I need an engineer.
I need an engineer, and then they're like, hey, come save us. And then the bartender comes back, so they have to come out here. But they're like, he's got Rutherford because Ransom and Kayshawn couldn't help him. So, but this is Boimler's plan. Back in sick bay here on the Cerritos, this combined blob. They're trying to figure out what to do, and
they're trying to isolate the DNA of it. Like,
with their personalities, knowing whose personality was what, so they could combine their abilities and skills here to save the day. And the ethical issues weren't as much here because this was a non-sentient blob, as we're told, just a bunch of legs popping out. It was a good solution to this problem that they didn't have in the original Voyager episode. Back on Voyager, they're preparing to tuck the bridge, Boimler and Rutherford. They come in only to be met with Dr. Chaotica, who thwarts them, but he says, I'm the son of Captain Proton, Boimler says to him, and this kind of distracts Chaotica enough. He's like, you are?
what?
No, impossible. No, I like the line just before they run in where Boimler's like, are you sure this will work? And Rutherford's like, it's a wacky Voyager-like idea. I'm sure it'll be fine. And they just run inside.
Right.
I am Chaotica, ruler of the cosmos.
Where is Queen Arachnia?
The time I played him in Star Trek Radio Theater was like some of the most fun I ever had doing it.
Yeah, that's a good rule.
Yeah.
Let's do another Chaotica. I want to play Chaotica.
It was fun. It was fun to play. So they save the day. They beat Chaotica. They take back the ship with Rutherford and Boimler. Voyager heads back its way. They thwart the fear clown.
They thought the clowns. They thought everybody.
Yeah, do it all.
The cheese. I love that they say.
Oh yeah, I did it with Neelix's cheese. I did it with the cheese. You know how he infected the bioneural gel packs? He's like, everyone's heard of the cheese. In the gel packs. And they
destroys Voyager. Like, it's just destroyed now with that cheese. Like, it's
back on Earth. Voyager, which they said it was going to go up into orbit eventually. They said, and we know it will end up at Athen Prime eventually with Geordi. But they have it on display down here in San Francisco, right on the. I guess this is Starfleet Academy where they are, and so the mission
like
was
that front lawn, like where you have me meet you when we play Star Trek Online. That was that exact front garden
on the Presidio, I guess, right?
Yeah, it's a Presidio. Yeah, exactly. And I like how this little awkward moment with the people who had been decoupled, I guess, from each other, and the awkwardness of having shared that experience. That's like a little bit of that experience, that Twovix episode, Davan, the original one, where Neelix and Tuvok don't really have any. They never talk about it, and it's never referenced again.
No, they just develop a mutual respect and friendship after it.
Yeah,
over a few episodes.
But did they both have the memories of everything Twovix did?
Yes.
They had to, right? They had to.
They do.
Yeah.
They remember being Twovix. They can both remember being Twovix.
Yeah.
So, anyway, I don't know. It's a messed up science fiction idea, but As a result of all this, because the lower deckers, they saved not just one ship, but 2 ships in this episode. We have a ceremony here in the observation lounge about promotions. I love that California class emblem that's behind Freeman, by the way. Nice little touch. And we see the promotions. We get Boimler, who gets to go up to lieutenant junior grade. Talin, even though she's provisional,
Just got there and she's already promoted.
they're like, good job, Talin.
Good job, Vulcan.
And Tandy gets also promoted. Everyone but Rutherford in this scene. But we'll deal with that in the next episode with Rutherford.
Ta'ana's been fast tracking Tandy for a while.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, and I really liked this, guys. I really like that they're not ensigns anymore. I like that they all got promoted. I thought this is a really nice.
Not Rutherford.
Well, he will be, but we'll get there. And so, yeah. But we see here that Mariner's not too excited, and we'll deal with that in the next episode as well. She tries to give it back, but he says, "No way! I saw how you coached Boimler through his issues because he said he didn't want the promotion because of everything that happened on the Titan, blah blah blah." And she's like, "Nope, I know how good you are. You're taking the pip back." And he looks at the shine.
I liked also when he's like thanks to the cameras on Voyager, and then he showed the camera angle that we all watched earlier, and he's like, I saw what you did in helping Boimler get his confidence back, which is
like there was somebody in the hallway the entire time. Like,
yeah, but it's a great explanation for everything that you would see on Star Trek in any other case. It's like,
right,
there were the cameras in the wall, we're the camera in the wall seeing these events. Like I love that.
So basically, thank God for Starship cameras, or we would never. Right, we'd never
see anything.
You should have a lot more of them because there's always some. Like we just watched an Enterprise episode where they're like, you don't have a camera that looks at the people coming into the embassy before you blow it up.
Right.
Security guards like, I don't know these people. They can come in, and then they blow it up. Anyway, there's the final scene here, guys, around in their 10 forward or whatever this is called, the
mess.
Rutherford I'm promoted. We see here that Mariner's visibly upset that she's been re-promoted. She's held this rank before.
A few times,
right? Several times.
Yeah, so it's not going well. But Boimler gives a speech. She's like, "Come on, we're still lower deckers. We're just, we're like the least important mid-level officer." So they get all their lower decks. Lower decks. Yeah, they don't have to clean up
was
poop.
a little bit of a change too. Like before they sort of made it sound like Beckett was almost choosing to remain an ensign, but the way she sort of frames it in this is like she felt like her commanders didn't support her in her new lieutenant role, and then got like beaten down and pushed back into the ensign.
Right,
like
because it's that season 1 where they promote her and she's like they work her to death, right? Because that was her mom's way of trying to get her off the ship, right?
Yeah.
Initially,
it was always treated as punishment when it shouldn't be.
But guys, so there's a teaser at the end of this episode, and there's a kind of a corresponding one that's going to start the next episode. But this one is the Klingon version.
And they're both amazing.
They were great. They were great.
At first, I thought this was the character we had met in Wedge Douche, but it turns out it's not. It's not. It's a different Klingon.
But it's the character we met in Wedge Douche was the one captaining this ship, though.
Oh, okay. So, but he did that character's here because we had met Talin in that episode, and there was a Klingon in that one too. Part of that story in season 1.
Yeah, that Klingon is captaining this ship. They even reference it earlier, or in this scene where he's like, that Patak had lucked his way into command, and this time I'm gonna, because like both this one and the next scene in the next episode, they're talking about like treason against their leader.
Right.
Yeah.
There was some funny stuff here. I thought the Romulan stuff that coming up is a little funnier, but this Klingon stuff is gold.
I am restless,
also the Klingon with the towel in the back.
Through my enemies.
The spear is a terrible weapon. You want to poke at your enemy
I like how
from a distance.
They also have a guy in a towel in their background, just like the lower deckers did.
Right.
With the towel wrapped around.
Is that Michael Chan?
It's a spear, a coward's weapon used to poke a foe at a distance.
Yeah. There's nobody.
Nobody calls me a coward and lives to tell the tale.
And they're like, "Hey, do you want to go for lunch?" I can't today. They're serving eyes or hearts.
Are you free for
lungs
lunch
or something.
today? They are serving eyes or hearts or something.
So funny. All right, sorry. And then there's the red alert. Oh,
We are in battle. Who is wrong to sharpen their spear now?
Red alarm.
Red alarm. And so I guess this is the existential threat of the season, guys. I think we're going to find out.
Threat.
Mysterious threat. No more mysterious threats. They're like, should we destroy it? He's like, there is no honor.
We gain no honor in destroying an incapacitated ship. Mark their location and resume our course to Kronos.
But this thing decides to
Kind of
power up.
enlightened Klingon philosophy, I would say.
Yeah.
there he is.
Not,
Oh yeah, there he is.
we saw that in Star Trek V, they like to shoot at space garbage, but it was no test of a warrior's mental. But this weapon powers up. It deactivates the shields. The ship is completely defenseless, as will be the case with the Romulans in the next one. And that's it. And we kind of saw this from the season trailer that this will be sort of the mystery of the season. Who is behind this? I think we're going to find. I think we're going to find out that this is
Klingon.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Peanut Hamper.
You think that's Peanut?
Her and
Hamper?
Agamus, they're working together now.
Yeah, I think
That's
this is their
interesting.
plot.
Oh, you know what? That makes sense because I did earlier predict that those two would be the big bad of this season, but I didn't think it would happen till the end of the season. But maybe setting it up through the season would be way better.
So
I think it's a human.
so maybe we can stop here for just a minute and pause on this.
But why
particular-
does Peanut Hamper and Agamus want to destroy a rando Klingon ship?
Well, I think that they're trying to create maybe chaos or some kind of paranoia. It's kind of like that in Babylon 5 when the Centauri were attacking.
It always comes back to Babylon 5 with you, Dave.
Exactly. But let's quickly sit on episode 1 and have a rating. See
right.
how we want to quantify this episode.
Oh, I like this episode a lot. You go first, Dave. You go first.
I liked it a lot too. I think I like the next one more though. So I'm a solid
Really?
9 for this one. Murphy's just your next on the order here. Why don't you?
I'm gonna give it a solid 9. I was having a lot more fun with the first episode over the second episode, but I mean, I just love Voyager, so easy bias.
Derek, what would you rate?
Ooh, I think I'm gonna give it. I don't think I'm gonna give it a 9. I think I'm gonna give it a 8.8.
8.8. Okay.
See, I was considering 8.5, but I wanted to be generous. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say 8.5. I'm like, I'll give it an 8.8. Yeah.
And Davan, you're
I mean, it's pretty much entirely because of fan service, not so much plot or anything, but I'll give it a 9.
You're going 9 as well. Okay, and as
It's just too much Voyager love, and I just love Voyager.
Yeah, the Voyager
Voyager's
brings it over the top, though, doesn't it? Though, you know.
Yeah.
Just canonizing all that weird shit that we
this
It's like in
witnessed growing up.
season
like,
3 of Picard, we get the crew back on the D. We get to see the D again in the bridge of the Enterprise D, and we get to see this with the Voyager again. Like, I don't think we'll ever see the Voyager crew on the bridge of
Voyager
but
again.
But this is close, you know.
This is close, yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, guys. Spreadsheet issues. Okay, so this has an 8.6 currently on IMDb with 95 votes so far, and so I'll just take that down in terms of any kind of details discovered, as I like to say. Not
Sad facts discovered by Dave. What? Why are they sad?
I don't know why they're sad. Someone changed that.
Jody.
Probably Jody.
sounds like a Jody.
Sounds like a Jody move. Okay, but just a little bit of trivia here. Some of the Voyager exhibits are Neelix's neural gel pack, as we mentioned, infecting the Brill cheese, the evolved amphibian life forms, the salamanders from Threshold, the alien orchid creature that Twovix created from the macroscopic virus, and 7 of 9's regeneration alcoves. Also, in the novels, which might be fitting with Derek here. After returning to the Alpha Quadrant, the USS Voyager is put into dry dock for over a year in order to have Borg technology and the technology from the future removed, as well as undergoing a major refit to bring the ship up to current standards. After Voyager is relaunched, with Chakotay being promoted to captain and being placed in command, Tom Paris is promoted to lieutenant commander and is the executive officer. Harry Kim is promoted to lieutenant and made the new tactical officer and chief of security. Voyager goes on to play a
They
pivotal
didn't
role
stick to that.
in the Borg invasion. Yeah, they did not stick with this.
No.
It sounds fun.
Oh yeah,
It does.
Yeah. So,
the books are great fun. Great fun.
but
Oh,
it
yeah.
seems like after
It's headcanon. If you'd like it, throw it in there.
Well,
Throw it in,
Especially if
yeah.
it doesn't contradict with what we've seen. Like, they'll never contradict anything in Stitch in Time or Derek's book. So those
Oh,
just
no.
go straight into the headcanon.
Straight into the headcanon. That's right.
Yeah.
yeah, like and there's also that's why I have Star Trek Online. That's in my headcanon. But it wouldn't.
That's a
contradict-
lot to add to the headcanon if you're adding Star Trek Online to your headcanon.
Oh, that's a lot, but it's good stuff though.
It's good
It
stuff.
is.
Good stuff.
All right, guys. So let's move on to episode 2, titled "I Have No Bones, Yet I Must Flee." The second episode. I'm just going to bring up the screenshots of this one. Sorry. Boom.
Ding ding. Windows, hello.
And okay.
And I have a different orange kitty.
Oops.
That's Miles O'Brien.
No, this isn't Miles. This is Parker. He's named after Spider-Man.
Oh, Spider-Man's cool. All right, so guys, we got a very similar thing here with the Romulans to start off episode 2, where we get to meet some Romulan lower deckers.
This is the best scene ever.
This
I
was
loved it. I loved
so
it.
funny, so much fun because they haven't really made fun of the Romulans yet in this show and in this way.
Why do we always get cleanup duty when they've tortured a Eamon? They leave behind the biggest mess.
Do you have one of the top 10 lines in the history of Star Trek?
I do. It's
I
well,
love
the captain,
this line so much.
the Romulan commander says it.
I've been stabbing commanders in the back since before your mother killed her first traitor.
That's the most Romulan thing I've ever heard.
That's so good.
Yeah, don't make me
First
scoff.
traitor.
Don't make me scoff. Your plans are barely even schemes.
Your plans are leaving ski.
Evil schemes.
I have
My
betrayed
mother
him
killed
already.
Alajar Darok when she was only 32 years old.
Yeah, you wouldn't know us.
You wouldn't know a scheme from a conspiracy.
You know Romulans are doing that all day long, right? On Romulans. You know that's how they probably really talk. It's great.
Yeah, no, exactly. They remind me of like the Terrans. I was like, yeah, this is, but it was just amped up, right? Like them always going at each other. We go to the bridge here,
Assassination plots
magnificent
against me
culture.
are one thing, but sabotage.
Taj.
How dare you? Of course I crave your demise, but not like
Silence.
Of course, I claim your demise.
Silence. Is he trying to clean some sort of juice or wine out of his
Yeah, Riemann blood.
Riemann blood,
juice
right?
never comes out.
Whoever wrote this seriously understands Romulans.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah, no, the writer of this episode, I'll come up. It will come up in the titles when we get to that screenshot. But yeah, great writing. I love like this depiction. Like these were all the best cuts on the Romulans. Like they're always. He's like, destroy that thing, and so I can
Wipe this crumb from our path so I can focus on being suspicious.
And they're just all business all the time.
Right,
They never
right.
take joy in anything.
no Peldor Joy.
Paldor to you too, right?
Right.
Yeah.
They get destroyed, much like the Klingons, with only their emblem hanging around, and that is the teaser for episode 2. Although we don't come back to any of that. It's just the bookend of episode 1 and the beginning of this one. So
Next, they'll destroy a brain ship.
yeah, maybe
Let's
or
say
Ferengi
Ferengi ship.
Or
Or
Ferengi,
the
right?
Packleds, because it's this show.
or
Oh
Pac-Mans,
yeah, the Packleds probably it.
So a longer title. I have no bones yet. I must flee. But we start off.
Oh, this is great.
Yeah, no one gets that opportunity. Once your bones are drank, you seem to be in pretty rough shape.
Yeah.
No
Yes.
one gets to flee.
No.
This is scene. Oh my god!
This is great. Are you kidding me? I couldn't stop laughing when I saw this. I was like, what?
This is, of course, making fun of that scene in Sub Rosa, I think, between Beverly and Deanna Troy.
And Deanna, yeah.
They're
Like
doing
it's so hilarious how it like accentuates their breasts, just like they would do to the women back in those days. It's like everything's so highlighted and like. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
Flexible in Starfleet.
Like, look at that outfit on Shaq's there. That is shameless. That is like.
Oh, is that right?
outfit.
He wears it well, though, right?
Oh,
He
yes.
does. Okay.
I mean, he's killing it.
They're talking about his issues with Dr. Tiana. relationship wise. He goes, what is that? He asks have you tried scratching the bed yet?
So they're gonna go.
Of course I did.
Of course I did.
Yeah, that's the first thing I tried. Yeah, no, but in this conversation, Ransom says, "Oh, don't worry about Mariner." As they start talking about Mariner, she won't be my problem for much longer because we find out where Ransom will have a plan. We'll come back to that. And then back in the hallway,
doesn't make a lot of sense. I feel like in the end, his explanation didn't really explain that comment very well.
I mean,
yeah.
No, it comes across kind of sinister as it's meant to get Mariner upset in this episode in this story, but they come back to the hallway where everybody's moving out. Tendi and Boimler and Mariner, but not
upside down Cerrito store.
Right.
Yes, hanging out down there. We see here the bump here in the ceiling on Boimler's bunk, where he hit his head.
Isn't it bumpy or bendy?
Which explains a lot.
Denty.
Concussions.
It's a dent. He calls it denty.
Denty, yeah.
And we see here, Mariner's all pissed off. She's telling him about how Ransom's out to get her and playing the mind games and whatever, and they're gonna get her, and she's gonna get herself demoted. You watch out. Aaron Burdett wrote this episode. Everyone.
Oh, okay.
And directed
Good job,
by
Aaron Burdett.
Yeah. So Mariner's off to mess with Ransom and try to get demoted. Meanwhile, we see they're all packing up.
There's just collector plates.
Collector
plates, like Tom Paris collector plates.
Yeah, right.
He's got that dog. Remember that dog from the previous episode? Yeah.
And the flag from the captain day.
Oh yeah,
it's a dog named Dog.
Like hat with the hair.
Dog named Dog. Yeah, that's right. His name is Dog. And we see here that I actually in the intro I reversed this to make so it would light up. But we see that I guess they're leaving, guys. They're leaving the hallway with this thing because they're no longer ensigns.
Oh yeah.
And then Mariner shows up in the shuttle bay. There's this new young ensign here, and Mariner's just in her workout gear.
In her
I expected him
70s/80s workout gear, right?
Yeah, I love the headbands in his
Yeah.
The headband.
Yeah.
That look never goes out of style.
Right.
She rocks it. But she's like, I'm not going to wear my uniform. And Ransom's being all laxed. It's kind of seemed really off here. But yeah, and they want to bring a weapon over to the station. The mission is they have to go to a station because humans just periodically get captured by aliens who put us into jails. And then we have to go get them out. The Federation has to go get them out.
Yeah.
So that's the premise of this episode. Can't bring any phasers, though. We see here that Boimler ends up at his new quarters, which I love. This was funny to me. This really so he had the Bussard collector right outside the window, and this reminded me of when Jerry Seinfeld Kramer.
That's what it's from.
There's Kramer when he's across some Kenny Rogers chicken.
Kenny,
his eyes are like this, man.
And he started drinking the tomato juice.
Kenny.
There's all kinds of that. This was really funny. Back, we see Mariners continuing her attempt to get demoted or disciplined. She's riding the shuttle right in. She almost pretty much crash lands into the bay, and then
the Yosemite 2.
Does a Vin Diesel drift into the Star Bay?
The Yosemite's a famous shuttle. We've seen that on Star Bay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there's a million. So in this facility, in this museum prison thing, I'm sure there's a ton of different Easter eggs in here and references. Basically, they meet up with this guy who looks like a big banana. Or
what is his name? Nosh or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Where's Sam Kirk when you need him? He would geek out so hard in this place.
Yeah,
he would.
Different little aliens and things coming out here.
A menagerie.
This is that.
Oh, it's the Q thing.
But it's actually an Aldebaran serpent.
That's
what Q was trying to pretend to be. The bird with lizard tail and legs. I don't know. Different type of things. But we see here the Moopsie.
The Moopsie.
The cutest thing in here. Oh man.
Oh my gosh. Now I want one. Now I want like a plush one, right? Moopsie.
Yeah, plush.
They got you.
It's like a Jigglypuff or something.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pokemon.
Yeah, we'll come back to that.
Oopsie-daisies
Down here in
6
engineering,
months.
yeah. Oh, Rutherford decided he wants to try to get promoted, so he's going to try to impress Billups for that promotion, right? By increasing the warp factor percentage by 0.5% or whatever it is. But now there's a new guy. There's this-
0.05. It was 0.05%, and this new guy went 0.06.
Yeah, 0.06. He's basically his Newman, another Seinfeld reference.
Right.
Right. Maybe there's more Seinfeld references in this episode. We look for them.
Yeah. This guy's just showed up. I forgot his name.
Do you hear the shot of his eyes? His eyes look so hilarious. No, I guess not.
I know. In the earlier shot, I do. Where is that?
Oh, did you?
I got to go way back. Yeah. The
They're-
guy.
yeah.
Yeah, like they made just little 2 dots for like the eye, the irises.
So funny.
Yeah, you can't even do all that. And then they finally get to back here on the station with Ransom and Mariner. They get to the humans, who I like. I love their outfits. It just looks so original series.
Right.
And then he goes,
Or even
"Oh,
TNG.
but look, the Moopsie's out." And there was like these swamp
Uh-oh.
monsters or whatever. They're like,
And
"It can't be
they
worse than those
instantly
swamp
get
monsters."
afraid.
Yeah, he instantly gets afraid, and they're like, those swamp things only will bite off your head. These things drink your bones."
It's like
And then
he's
we see-
terrified. Right?
Yeah, no, it doesn't. That doesn't sound good. It seems to like just,
Oh my
and he gets
God.
both of these things. They're like, "Oh my
Like,
god!"
oh my god. Moopsie. But then, like, after it does that, it just, like, rolls extra cute. It always does extra cute things.
Yeah,
after
it
horribly
doesn't
murders
seem
someone.
malicious. It's just like, "Oh, I'm gonna eat you if I get the chance." I love how they had this reference to this thing,
Yeah.
whatever the
It's
hell it's
used in
called.
so many science fiction films and television.
The Tucker
Tucker
beams.
tubes.
The Tucker,
The Tucker tubes.
Tucker too. I like that.
Tucker tubes. I love how Billups says, "I don't know what the hell these do, but we love having them." And then like his nemesis here has made a third
that.
one, and he calls it a Billups tube.
He always just gives Rutherford that smarmy smile after everything he does.
Yeah. So I guess Boimler got new quarters because the original ones were not working for him, but they put him between 2 holodecks.
Is that Freeman going into the holodeck there? In the
Yeah,
going in reverse.
and he hears her because he tries to move the bed away from Shax and Tiana, and she's like in the holodeck she's pretending she's the president of the Federation or something. That's her fantasy. I also like
man.
Shax calls him Baby Bear, which I thought he only called Rutherford, but I guess he calls.
Yeah, me too.
I like how Boimler has his figurines like Mirror Archer. He's like, I got my Mirror Archer figure.
I believe Shaq started calling Boimler Baby Bear because Boimler gave him the opportunity to eject the warp core. Because he was like, everybody shut up! Listen to Shax!
Yeah.
Right.
All right. So it could be more than one Baby Bear.
Let's eject the warp core. Shax, you say that for everything.
And this was just wrong. This was just wrong.
Oh, where they're going into this Robin Hood scenario.
Yeah,
but
I
they're-
can't get this image out of my head. It's just wrong.
Where's Shax's costume?
yeah, he has it in his hand. He has to put it on still.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
right,
I think that comes later in the holodeck. It's just wrong, man. It's just wrong.
their relationship is hilarious.
It is.
Did he
It
say
really
something
is.
like, what haven't you done or something like that? Before
Right.
they walk in?
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. It's just oh my god, it's so dirty. But then he starts,
I am not a married man, right? I mean, it's like
he starts hearing it through the wall.
Merry man.
I'm not a merry man. And then he
He's
hears,
gonna be a merry man.
he hears
Yad
hears
asked
Freeman
for
through the
per ass per
wall,
poster.
and Boimler can't get no peace. I guess is the point here.
oh my goodness.
Yeah, and then
Kenny.
back
Kenny.
on the station, the Jiggly Boop is continuing.
Jiggly Moop.
Diggly moops.
Yeah, the Moopsie.
Whoopsie.
Chasing them, and then there's this whole fight here between Mariner and Ransom about you're trying to get me demoted and get me to set me up for failure, and then there's this whole thing here. He's like, "No, I'm not. That's what I read your file. I'm trying to break the pattern here and whatever, and believe in you, etc." And then they come around with each other, but then this ensign is like, "Can you two stop it?"
Right?
We're gonna get, and then this museum curator gets.
Oh no! Here comes Moopsy.
Here comes Moopsy.
Look at this teeth.
Lord. What a frame to catch.
Yeah, that's no good. Yeah, this was.
Oh my goodness.
That was smart. It just
You're not afraid because you don't have bones.
You don't have bones, right? He's like, yeah, I do.
Like they're like, wow, turns out he was like all bones.
He was all bones. Yeah.
We need a Moopsie drinking game, right?
Like, yeah, the Moopsie's, it's okay. The Moopsie's only in the command center or whatever, and he hits the button, and then he starts making the station crash down towards the out of orbit. So they're all going to die unless they can get back in there. Back on the Cerritos, Boimler's taken to sleeping in the Jeffries.
Look at his eyes.
They're still red.
Yeah,
But he even like put posters up and stuff in the Jeffries.
Yeah.
Like,
he hung his socks up.
Right?
Rutherford shows up, and Rutherford's like, "Hey, warp core efficiency or something, like whatever he's up to."
So okay, so his three figures is what, like Pike, Spock, and Archer?
There's an O'Brien.
Oh, is that
is it
O'Brien? Is
O'Brien?
that?
It's an O'Brien, yeah.
I thought he was saying Archer earlier.
Archer. This is Mirror Archer,
Oh.
and this is Spock. And I don't know. No, there's an Una poster back here.
Right.
Yeah, join Starfleet.
Yeah, but so
That's a messed up dude.
Rutherford's off to try to get promoted, and they're like, "Hey, want to have dinner later?" Yeah, sure. This ensign's so mad. So Mariner says she's going to sacrifice herself to try to save them, get back in there. But ultimately, Ransom comes up with a new plan. He's like, "Punch me!" And then he's like, "See, I can use my bones." Okay, but guys,
Wants bones, we'll give it bones.
teeth are not bones.
Well,
They're made of the same material, I believe.
Right.
No, they're not. Well,
They're
there's
not,
like
like-
enamel or coating. Yeah, they sort of are. Well, teeth are like made of the same thing as your fingernails, I guess.
Right, and your hair, keratin.
Yeah.
oh yeah, that's right.
keratin.
So, but whatever.
Does the Moopsie care?
No,
Moopsie doesn't
Moopsie
care.
will eat teeth as much as Moopsie will eat a bone. So maybe fingernails for that matter too. Yeah. So the plan is just knock out all of Ransom's teeth and then use that.
I once heard when you brush your teeth, it's the only time you wash your skeleton.
Oh, there you go. Well,
I wash my skeleton every week. I don't know about you, sir.
Okay.
you're Skeletornin.
Yeah.
But anyway, I love how Rutherford, his last ditch effort to try to get promoted is to increase the replicator's efficiency by 0.9 fractoseconds or something like that.
His fixes are never that great, but there's something.
Yeah, that's what I do with the engineers. Look, I fixed the thing, but this guy's about to get promoted. He's like, damn that. I can't remember what his name is. Newman.
Levesque.
Levesque, yeah.
Or something like that. Vivek. It's Vivek, isn't it?
No, it's
Vivek.
Livik.
Livick?
Yeah, it's
Livek. Yeah.
Livick. Yeah.
I love how they're like, how did you not get promoted, Rutherford? He's just like, well, I guess I broke Voyager. Engineers don't get promoted for breaking stuff.
No, but he's been offered promotions before. We'll find out in this conversation that he turns them down.
Except for those promotions before.
Yeah, so now he's like, but because he didn't want to get broken up from the gang, but now that they've all been promoted, he wants the promotion, and then Tendy just like, hey, kid, Rutherford had the promotion he turned down before. He's like, I guess, yeah.
Look at how he's grabbing Buddy's collar to put the pip on it. That's like very hilarious.
Yeah, he's like, oh, well, sorry, man, and then he throws it over. He throws it over to
ask for this.
Rutherford.
I can just ask for things I want, I guess.
And he's like, Rutherford.
And
Tendy.
and Tendy, right?
I wonder if we'll see this character again. I think we will.
Oh yeah,
I
he'll
think
be
we will,
back.
yeah.
And then we see her the Moops eating the teeth. There's little breadcrumbs back into its cell. Goes back in there, and then all full. And then like, ha ha ha, got me. Then the door opens, I think, again, and they realize that the humans were responsible for this because they actually wanted to take over the museum. They had some kind of nefarious plot, and ultimately they choose to leave them in there with in that situation to be on display for
Humans are the most dangerous game after all.
I guess you're in this beach setting. Back on the Cerritos, we got.
Oh my god, these teeth! Are they gonna stick with these? If they stick with this look for Ransom, that is hilarious.
Yeah, you just got this massive like set of dentures now, or veneers. I think we're told they are. Yeah.
It was a bit distracting. I'm sure they're gonna tone it down in the next episode.
Like she said something like it's gonna take a couple days to settle or something.
Yeah. Don't eat anything hard. It's gonna take a day or two to settle.
Then we see here. So Boimler and Rutherford decide to be roommates. Even though they could get their own rooms, but then they can go in there. But they're back in the nacelle room, and then Rutherford.
Can you get your own room as a junior grade lieutenant? I don't know about that.
That's what Lavelle said back
okay.
in the original Lower Decks episode on Next Gen. But he's like, I can get my own room, But
on the D maybe.
Oh wow!
Cali class, come on.
It's a D Space Nine model.
Yeah, he's got a D Space Nine model. In his little...
yeah. Isn't that also like the machine that Wesley was working
it's familiar. On? Yeah, it might be the Wesley machine.
Oh yeah.
Science experiment. Yeah, but all Rutherford had to do was like turn down the curtains or whatever, adjust the screen. It wasn't that hard. And then he gets sparked here by whatever Rutherford's working on. He hits his head and knocks the hole in the ceiling. So now he's feeling good about it. Yep. Feeling good about it all. And then the Cerritos warps off to end the episode, and that's the end of episode 2, guys. So
good stuff.
Yeah,
another good one.
Another good one. I think I'd say I liked this one even more than the first episode. So why don't we have
had a little more heart.
Had a little more heart. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I understand. I kind of get why they put them out together here, so that Rutherford would get promoted, I guess, the same week as the rest of them. So here, let's rate this episode. I have no bones, yet I must flee. I'm going. I think it's a 10.
Oh wow, you really like this one.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna meet
give
you
it a
there.
9.2.
9.2.
Yeah, I feel like there's room for improvement in this season. I don't want to give it 10 out the gate. I feel like there's gonna be some better ones. These are both good episodes. Good setups.
Derek.
I'll say the same thing. 9.2.
9.2 and Davan.
I'm gonna keep this one in. Oh wait, it had that Romulan scene.
Oh, that Romulan scene was good.
Crap. All right, I was gonna give it like an 8, but because of that Romulan scene, I have to give it a 9.
This seems there's another half point in my opinion. 0.5.
I gave it a full point for that Romulan scene.
So with 63 votes so far today, this is averaging an 8.3 on IMDb.
Ooh, that's a little low for that episode. I think
a little low. Doesn't have as many votes yet. And let's just take this down. I want to see if there's any details we can discover here about this episode. Momento. So this episode opens with Ransom and Shax stretching. The leotards they are wearing are identical to the ones worn by Crusher and Troy when they worked together on The Next Generation. We know that. The title is an apparent reference to the Harlan Ellison story, I Have No Mouth, But I Must Scream.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. Great story.
The Cerritos crew mentions how humans frequently get trapped in menageries. In 2254, Captain Pike was trapped on Talos 4 in the cage, which was recounted during Spock's court-martial in the Menagerie and the Menagerie Part 2. Later, in 2269, the crew of the Enterprise, USS Enterprise, was trapped in a Lactren Zoo in the animated series episode, The Eye of the Beholder. While doing their exercises, Shax and Ransom are both wearing the same workout outfits. Yeah, we know that. It was actually the price. It wasn't from Sub Rosa. And the device Rutherford is tinkering with at the end of the episode is a miniature tractor beam, which was worked on by Wesley Crusher in the TNG episode The Naked Now. So good eye there, Murphy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so a good start to Lower Decks season 4, I would say. And we got this looming threat. I think it's Peanut Hamper. I think that's what they've already really set up. The Agamas Peanut Hamper evil artificial intelligence alliance.
I don't think it's that. I think it's something different. I think
Okay, well,
it's
so that's the fun of this, guys. We get to see how this all plays out over the next 8 episodes to finish up season 4. I don't know if there's anything set to come out after that because I think Discovery's going to take a little longer to come out with its next season.
Treks.
How like seamlessly and like almost feels like effortlessly have these 4 seasons on start of the 4th season, but like fit into like the Star Trek canon and world. Like it's all just been so seamless so far. Like I feel like this show could go for 20 seasons.
Oh yeah.
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 It's because they're legitimizing and canonizing all of the weird things in pretty much every Star Trek episode that's been presented. Just the little details that are just like, well, what is this? What is this nonsense sci-fi stuff? Things that nobody wouldn't pay attention to. One-off characters and episodes. They're just going deep cuts and being like, okay, not only is this just like the most random shit ever, but we're going to provide lore to it that's going to make it more enjoyable when you go back and watch that episode again.
Place it in the world. Yeah. It's like, no, like, yeah, macroviruses still exist. That little tractor beam machine didn't just disappear. You know, it's like, it's just, yeah.
All these little things that come out.
Isn't tomorrow Star Trek Day?
I feel like I should know this.
I believe it is. I think they're going to show.
They're dropping those really short treks, right? Tomorrow.
Yeah, the short treks. They're going to have
short treks
with Jonathan Frakes and I think the actor, his name is blanking, who plays Trip.
Connor Chenier.
Connor Chenier.
Yeah. I think he's going to be in one tomorrow as well.
Neelix is going to be there as
You're
well.
right. September 8th is Star Trek Day. I always think of First Contact Day, which is like April
5th, April 6th. Something like that, yeah.
But Star Trek Day is the day when, like Paramount, Viacom, they come out with all of their big announcements about their shows. So I guess tomorrow will be some news. So if there's anything really big that comes in, we'll let you know. We might cover it here on the channel.
We might have to cover those short treks. And we do have a Debate 9 happening tomorrow. So, we'll be celebrating.
Oh, yeah. So I'm on standby for what, like emergency question or something?
Yeah, if you need a triple tiebreaker. If it's a double tiebreaker, I can handle it.
Okay. So check out all that new stuff on the channel. Of course, check out our interview with Derek, which we did about a week ago or so. You can find that here on the channel, where we talk about the autobiography of Benjamin Sisko, coming out December, as mentioned at the top of the show. And anything else going on in your world, Derek, right now?
No, just working on some of my own stuff. Working on a novel about the Crusades.
Interesting.
Yeah, and just my own stuff and some other stuff I can't talk about. So not really, but stay tuned as always. So.
Well, I'm sure when you can talk about it, you'll be.
I won't be able to shut up when I.
Excellent. Well,
comes back. I told you were gonna love what I did to Sisko. I told you.
Hopefully.
I will. I promise.
Oh, I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty confident.
All right. Well, I think, is there anything else coming up on the channel that we should mention right now? If not,
oh, you know what? I will need you to do a double tiebreaker if I'm in that tiebreaker.
I'm starting to overthink this. But also check out our ongoing series. Like we have our Star Trek Enterprise rewatch series. We've been reviewing all those episodes. We're about halfway done season 4, so not too much longer until we're done. Daedalus is the next episode we're talking about on Monday. With
Daedalus.
Daedalus is the next episode.
The father of Icarus, who made for him the wings of wax.
Yes,
that's right.
With which he flew too close to the sun.
Right. And we'll be back a week from tonight to talk about the next episode of Star Trek Lower Decks. I don't know if we know the title of that yet. No, I don't think they've released the name of that third episode yet. But whatever it is, we'll be here to talk about it. And I think that's, of course, I think there was a newest Locutors of Trek audio podcast that released not too long ago too, Davan. So
yeah, not too long ago there were some audio issues, but you know what? That was the end of season 1. We're coming back in season 2. No audio issues. Richard Hanley. We're gonna have Derek on. We're gonna talk about the writing of Star Trek in season 2.
Oh, that's right. That's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
We're gonna be a lot of fun.
We got lots of good things happening. We're gonna have Mohammed Noor on talking about biology. Jenny Johnson talking about art. It's gonna be a big season 2. We're gonna get into the weeds on everything Star Trek and our very own world.
I'm looking forward.
The title for the next episode is called "In the Cradle of Vexillon." For loading.
Vexillon.
Excellent. Okay. I don't know. That doesn't mean anything to me off the bat. So,
No.
all right. Well, I look forward to it. I'm sure it will be good. So, if you didn't know, this channel is part of the United Federation of Podcasts. Many different podcasts, interconnected. Davan, Murphy, myself, André, Myette.
Federation, you say?
Federation, several others.
Alex Blackburn, Michael Chan,
Eamon
Eamon Mater,
Yeah,
son of Mater.
Yeah, speaking of, he has a music podcast where he talks about music albums and things, reviewing those, talking. They listen to it and then they talk about it. And then there's Hold Up, which was on last night.
Tell him to have me on so I can enrich his life with some Marcus Miller.
I will. I'll let him know. Hold Up, a movie podcast, was on last night. Davin and Murphy were talking about 3 movies last night. They were multiverse movies, along with André Myette.
Yeah, and you and Jaemeel crashed the podcast.
Only at the end.
I appreciated it, Dave. I needed the backup.
Yeah,
I was getting ganged up on a bit there.
Yeah, it helped that I agreed with you because I came in only for the Everything Everywhere All at Once segment.
These gentlemen couldn't handle some sausage fingers in their movie, and it's sour.
That's true. I don't like sausage fingers or like butt plug fights. It didn't really do it for me.
So if you want to hear more about that, go check out that on Hold Up.
Yeah, go check that out. Yeah.
The Graphic Histories podcast with André Myette, where he interviews people from entertainment, movies, comic books, all kinds of really interested, talented people in his audio-only format podcast. Check that one out. And X-Rated, X-Men the Animated Series review show with André and Davan comes out Tuesdays, where they review those old classic episodes of that cartoon. They've interviewed the creators, some of the voice casts, some of the writers.
And noted
Andy Huff
comic book artist... Oh my God! Get out of here with your. Murphy's notorious for saying every person's name very incorrectly, and he's not even doing it on purpose. It's just genuinely Murphy not being able to pronounce names. But anyway, so on not next week where we'll be reviewing Jubilee's Fairy Tale Theater, an episode written by a friend of the show, Brooks Wachtel. We'll be having on Adam Gorham, noted comic book artist who just did this great comic here. The Miss Marvel is now an X-Man comic. He's the artist behind that, and he'll be on the show talking about the episode Old Soldiers with us. Nice. That's the one where Wolverine and Captain America are back in World War II, and so that'll be fun.
Excellent. And there's the Hellbound podcast. Michael Chan, Alex Blackburn talking horror comes out Wednesdays. We also have
when they're back from hiatus. When
they're back.
Are they?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And lastly, we have Super Mater Brothers podcast. We are brothers! Covering reality TV shows, primarily like Big Brother 25. Jaemeel and my brother Jeff will be on tonight talking about the week 5 eviction in Big Brother 25. Check that out. Also, Survivor season 45 coming out on September 27th.
Somehow Survivor's now older than me. And I remember when it started. Anyway.
They do 2 a year. Do 2 a year. And on that Super Mater Brothers channel, you can also find our reviews of Marvel, new MCU things. We call it the Mary Mater Marvel Society.
You got it.
Yeah. I got it. That's my name's in the title. I can eventually get it. So that's all the shows. Well, thanks so much, guys. Thanks so much, Derek, for being with us. We hope you'll join us again for future
Absolutely.
reviews.
Thank you for having me. It's so much fun to be with you guys.
Yeah,
anytime.
Yeah. Thanks for a doubles episode too. It was 2 episodes to talk about, not just one. So good times all around. All right. Well, thanks everyone for being.
See you all in Vexillon.
We'll see you all in Vexillon, and I think I need. I have to play this quote just to get. All right, we'll see you next time. Live long and podcast, everybody.
I've been stabbing commanders in the back since before your mother killed her first traitor.
Traitor.